It's not an RCAD song, but it's kind of how I've been feeling lately with money. I try, and I try even more. I cried, and I can't recall what for. I've pressed, I've pushed, I've yelled, I've begged in hopes of some success. But inevitable fact is I never will impress. I've no more fucks to give. My fucks have run it dry. I've tried to go fuck shopping and there's no more fucks to buy. I've no more fucks to give, though my fucks I've tried to get. I'm over my fuck budget and then now I'm in fucking debt. There you go.
That might be your fucking best one yet.
I think so, yeah.
That was fucking beautiful.
That's like a year or two old song. I kind of just dismissed it as a novelty, but I was listening to it and I was like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Really? I like it. It was catchy.
Isn't it?
I'm glad we're an explicit podcast, too.
I know, exactly.
Right?
I couldn't have gotten away with that
right in. Yeah.
on the random cast.
Get that red banana.
Anyway.
How's
How's y'all's 2 weeks been?
pretty good? Yeah. Pretty good, yeah. It's always funny when we're gone for an extra week there. It always feels like, oh hey, I missed the guys, that
Right.
kind of, hangout time. So, but we get to go out and live our lives and do other things on Thursday nights.
Are we supposed to do that?
I did.
Live our lives?
I didn't do shit.
I didn't do shit either.
Oh,
I went, I guess I could have recorded.
Like Easter happened, and it was like, oh, what the hell? Easter's here now? Like, it was Easter in March, which is, I mean, I'm not even fucking religious, but like, I was just like, that's weird.
well, you
Easter.
have said that you were Catholic at one point. So.
Until I reached the age of reason.
Okay. Well,
That's a George Carlin line, by the way.
I know, exactly. It makes me think of Bill Hicks, too.
Yeah.
He would, he said some joke and he went, I'm sorry if you're Catholic. I'm not really sorry if you're offended. I'm just sorry if you're Catholic.
Easter was good, though. I went home with my wife and my daughter and my son, and we went to visit my mom out in the other side of the state, which was good, challenging, but good at the same time.
Is that the east side of Massachusetts?
West side.
West side.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
He
I get it confused.
He vacations on the east side.
East side.
I live on the east side. I grew up on the west side.
You got to cross those mountain. That
hill.
That hill.
Yeah.
There's some hills.
Yeah, there's some hills. There are. So.
Yeah, I was hoping to come out and visit you, Chris, but then my boss, again, originally I was going to go to Texas. And then he's like, no, you're going to go to Massachusetts. I was like, all right, cool. And then he changed his mind. He's like, now you're going to go to Houston. So.
Oh, well, fuck. That would have been awesome.
He's going to go to Massachusetts instead. So I was like,
what a dick.
Yeah.
You were just in Texas.
Yeah, I was in San Antonio, but now I'm going to Houston.
You're in San Antonio.
Yeah, completely different state.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
the city of Houston is the same size as the whole state of Connecticut. It's fucking huge.
Yeah,
I was kind of wondering, like, how many Massachusetts could you fit inside of Texas?
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
They still have the Astrodome. They haven't demolished that yet, have they?
I don't know.
Imploded it yet? I mean, it hasn't been in use over what, 20 years, 25 years.
It'd be cool if they could organize
the eighth wonder of the world
to hit it. So.
Yeah.
It was a terrible stadium for baseball.
Yeah. Never been to that one.
I never went, but it just was terrible it took a lot to go home. Terrible.
I was debating on staying another day and doing the NASA tour, but I haven't made up my mind yet.
Speaking of NASA tour, I started watching For All Mankind.
Yeah.
Oh, the season. Nice.
Yeah, the season. I'm
nice.
on episode. I just started episode 2.
I missed it. I might do a rewatch.
You're right there with me.
Cool,
Chris. I started watching season 4.
That's the latest season, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. I was like, okay.
When they're recruiting miners and shit, like miners, like mining people, not miners.
I thought we were back on the Catholic Church.
We've got jokes.
Yeah, like Jack and I have said, I don't think you're going to be disappointed in this season. It's just like if you're expecting that like oh shit moment like you got in season 3, it's not really going to come.
Weird. I'm looking. My eyes are reversed.
Oh.
So I'm currently looking at Nick.
Oh.
Well, maybe there's
I'm currently looking at Matt.
Oh, hey.
And then I'm looking at Jack. Jack works says he's up, but like, yeah, that's weird.
Jackson, I was going to bring it up actually.
What
later.
the fuck? So that what was that note there?
The three.
Anyone watched the 3 body problem?
Fuck yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I watched the entire thing, and it was awesome. I thought.
Yeah, the first episode took me just a little bit to get into it, but after that, it's great. Yeah.
Okay,
it was what I wanted Invasion to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I like that it kind of has a little bit for everybody in it.
Yeah.
And then so like even if there's like a little bit you kind of like something else will get you, and then it'll all come, and then you're like, okay, now I'm into it, and it's great because like in the second and third episode, there's this whole like kind of like Chris with his headset. It's the same thing. Like he put they're playing this video game and then, so like if you're a gamer, you kind of get into it from that point, and then just the whole sci-fi element, and the space element, and then even like the historical and like the contact kind of aspect of it. Like there's lots of things that are going in that are sci-fi.
So you're saying I should watch it?
It's good.
I recommend it. Yeah, I think it was really, really good.
Yeah,
I'm looking for a show to watch, so maybe that's what I'll.
Yeah, I mean
yeah,
go ahead, Chris. I mean Matt.
The other one, and I just want to shout out to Sherry who was highly recommending the show, and Jim Watari, who was in the chat last week or when we met 2 weeks ago. Shogun, you got to watch it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I watched the first. I did watch the first episode.
It is. What'd you think? I mean, I
really enjoyed the first episode, but I was really tired.
Yeah,
and you have to do a lot of reading.
Yes.
So I'm like going, I can finish this. I can finish.
I mean,
really,
it's a good mix of English and reading. But yeah,
when the first episode was done, I think because normally it takes me a while to go to sleep. I think I was asleep like 2 minutes later. I was like,
what I've liked about Shogun is that it's from a book, and you can tell it's from a book, in a good way.
And I mean there are some things that they changed, but they tried to stay as faithful to that. Like some characters were kind of like condensed into one or moved around just for the flow of the plot. I really got into this show.
Yeah.
Binged it. And not only did I binge it, but I started rewatching it. And I watched, there is on Hulu. So if you're like me and you like to listen to stuff. So I watched it straight through the Japanese, reading the subtitles. And I love Japanese as a language. So I was just like, yes, this is cool. I love all of this shit. So they have an English dub version, which is hilarious because they still have Jim Watari is saying most of the characters are real people with the names changed. So
to protect the innocent.
If you listen, there's a podcast also that Hulu has about it. So it gets a little bit more in depth about some of those changes that they made and a lot of the historical stuff that they tried to.
I did feel bad for the one character whose bath was too hot.
Oh,
yeah, I just felt bad for that guy. I mean, he needed a bath, but it was like, okay, hey, could they?
Sure. I mean, they did smell like shit.
Yeah,
so. And fish.
Just saying.
Apparently, the book spends a lot more time with the prison and being in captive. So for a lot longer. So the actor was saying like, and if you listen to the podcast, it's almost like everybody involved with this read the book. So it's pretty cool that they're all kind of aware. And so even the actor that plays John Blackthorne, he was like, yeah, you could have a whole show about just the prison encampment portion. So which would be highly depressive.
Oh yeah. So I said the same thing for the what's the Spielberg Hanks Wings
Spielberg Hanks
Masters of the Air.
Masters of the Air. I said they could have had a whole thing on the prison.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to get too detailed. Yeah. Right? Just
that's another one that I need to go through and watch. I got done with Shogun and I kind of had that binge hole where you're just like, I want to watch something else, and I want it to be this, but I can't have this.
Yeah, we
It's
still
cool
got 2
that-
episodes left of Shogun. So.
I think 3. It's 10 episodes.
Okay, I was thinking it was 9. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
No,
so you're already you're caught up, is what you're saying.
I'm caught up. I'm already to episode 7.
What-
Episode 6, maybe one of my favorite. But
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many good moments, and
Well,
what I just was gonna say, I'm glad they're keeping it a mini series.
Yeah,
they're not gonna,
they said that. Yeah, like,
They're one and done, right? It's not going to be.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they've already been asked. I mean, I remember. I think I said that a few weeks back. Like they asked the
Yeah.
producers if there's going to be a season 2. They said no. Said we're staying true to the book. There's no point in milking something. They're just going to do the book, and that's it. And that's what I was saying is that's what I've enjoyed.
Rarely works.
Well, that's what it does. And what I've liked about this is like Matt's right that it's condensed, but each 3 episodes is an arc. So like to me, the first 3 episodes are the fish out of water arc of like, you're being introduced through what's his name? Matt?
Blackthorn.
You're getting introduced to this Japanese culture through his eyes and the history of it in those first 3 episodes. The next 3 episodes are him starting to really be in that culture and accepting that culture and really starting to see the build of what the main arc is. And then these last episodes, I think, are going to be the meat of the book of the conflict, everything that's going to happen, like how it ends up.
The falling action.
The action. Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, I've enjoyed it as well. I am giving it like a solid 8.8 out of 10 right now. Like it could go higher. It could go, I don't know.
I mean, it's Game of Thrones level detail that I love about the show. Like they don't hold back. It's beautifully done. It is a little bit of a hurdle if you're just wanting to listen to a show.
That's
like
true.
Sherry pointed out. Like you have to read, and it can put you to sleep, as Jack noted.
Well, it wasn't the reading though. I was just extreme. I started when it's like at 12 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
I go, I'm not tired. Let me watch. Let me start Shogun, and I went.
Yeah, I should have waited.
The scene that hooked me in the first episode, and I'm gonna stay as spoiler free as possible here, is there's a moment on the cliffs, and he sees them for like this other level of like respect, and I really like that. And there's an actor that plays in Lost that's in it as well, and it's kind of funny because you can almost like blink and miss him. So
turns out he's a Dodger fan.
What's up?
Anyway.
What did you say?
Turns out he's a Dodger fan. I don't know.
Oh, really? I didn't know that was like a deal breaker for you.
It's a deal breaker for me.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, highly recommend it.
He's never won an Oscar, so it's okay.
Jeez, way to shit on a guy.
I didn't see Harold Perrineau in Shogun.
We have Emma Stone. She's won 2 Oscars, so I just.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's good. It's really good. I agree.
Nestor Carbonell. Yes, who we're talking about.
Guyliner.
So.
No, okay. No, I was thinking someone else. He's not.
Oh, okay.
He might be. I don't know. Yeah.
So I mean, one thing we forgot to mention, Jack, that 3 Body Problem is Benioff and what's his name from Game of Thrones. They're the showrunners of this show.
Yeah, D&D. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And
was that the show they were going to work? They were trying to get.
No.
Okay.
They were trying to do one on they were trying to do
Star Wars.
Well, that too. They had a deal to make a Star Wars trilogy or Star Wars movie, and then that fell through after Game of Thrones. And as well, they wanted to make a Man in the High Castle type show, but American Civil War instead of Nazi Germany. They wanted to do that, and just at the time, it was the wrong time to pitch that show. Because
I've been watching Manhunt. I don't know if you've seen that yet on Apple. And they also had Lincoln's Dilemma on Apple. And I said, I was actually thinking, they should do a movie. What would happen if the South had won?
I watched like 15 minutes of that Manhunt movie or show rather. And at the risk of sounding like a Nick sympathizer, whoever decided that they wanted to go like full on stupid fucking accent for Abraham Lincoln Like, I do declare, like, what, like, it was just like this crazy, like this, it's a distracting accent.
Because he's from Kentucky.
He's from Kentucky. He lived in Illinois.
But like, but
yeah,
I get it.
Well, it's the
I will
acting
back you.
coaches. That's the problem.
I will back you up on that one. First I was like going, and he seems more jolly than
it took me out of it. Granted, it was only a 15-minute scene or whatever, but like it took me. I'm like, I can't stop thinking how fucking stupid he sounds.
Well, he doesn't speak once he gets. He doesn't speak much once he gets shot.
No, I would imagine
he's in other episodes.
He's in other scenes, yeah.
Yeah.
But the one that bothers me is Edward Stanton. I mean, the actor's doing it. He was in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, he was also in
Rome,
and
he's been in a lot of things. But Edward Stanton had a beard like he could have been part of ZZ Top,
right?
And I'm like going, wait. When I first I wait, he's Stanton? I go, was he clean shaven when Lincoln got shot? I'm like going, no, he wasn't. I don't know why they just decided not to put him in a heavy beard. I'm just like going, oh, okay, all right.
No, I agree with Chris. Like it drives me nuts the voice coaches who try to teach this period piece, because it happens every time. For some reason, actors cannot do Virginian accents in that time period, because it does have that sound to it. So it's like mother, like it's a weird accent, but they overdo it.
You got some pretty
crazy
teeth there, boy.
Well,
but it's like a high pitched version.
Yeah, it's really weird, and no one has ever been able to do it right. Like in the movie,
so just don't do it.
Yeah, right.
I'll say. What's his name? My left foot guy. What's his name? The great actor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The guy who played Lincoln in the movie Lincoln.
He was good.
Because he's a great actor.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It does, but I see what Chris is saying. It does distract the overall show. I'm finding it really fascinating.
Okay,
yeah,
I'll give it a shot.
It's like spoiler alert when they said, okay, let's go kill Jefferson Davis, and they're like going, the moral dilemma. I go, he's a traitor. It's not. Go after him.
Right.
I didn't see the problem. I mean, I'm sure Nick didn't like it, but I'm just like saying, okay, yeah, you got to do whatever you got to do. People are dying. 20,000 people every battle are dying.
More than that.
Kill him.
Yeah.
Maybe it ends.
It's the hunt for the red banana.
Red banana, yeah.
Mm.
That's why you go Lincoln's Dilemma.
Is that a red banana?
So many times he was willing to concede. Hey, just so we can stop this war, just come back. You can keep your slaves and all that stuff. But he,
well, he was. There's a whole debate to have on legality and what the Supreme Court would have ruled if the war hadn't happened, and I think the Lincoln's thought was, how would we have liked the British to handle us if we would have lost the Revolutionary War? Because in reality, we all were countrymen, and that's how a lot of the brothers were fighting brothers. I mean, literal brothers were fighting each other. And so it's one of those things where, like, how do you approach this? Like, how, once it's over with, we have to. It's the same as with World War II. Like, we learned in World War II the mistake of World War I, that we can't punish, the losing side. We have to build them back up, because if you don't, then it's just going to start to another war later on.
Well, you have to say, hey, Russia, you got to go back. You can't keep this land. You got to go back. You got to go back.
Yeah, well,
don't build a wall. No, that's a bad idea.
Well, you know what I mean, like rebuilding Germany, rebuilding France, rebuilding Japan, all that.
There's a movie with Peter Sellers. I can't remember what it was, but he proposes that their country's going bankrupt. He goes, "Let's attack America. They'll destroy us, but they'll build us, and we'll be better than new." I can't remember the movie. But no, I was like, the whole thing. I go, Jefferson, just kill him. I don't get the problem.
Yeah. Well,
I'm sorry, I don't. It's war.
There's a hunt theme happening here with Hunt for Banana and Manhunt.
Yeah. But Chris, if you want to hear a really bad Virginia accent, the movie, the TNT movie Gettysburg, it came out like 93, 92, is excellent. But the prequel to that's called Gods and Generals, and it's not that bad, but it's nowhere near Gettysburg.
I have the DVDs if you want. I actually bought them at Gettysburg. So.
Yeah. But there's some women in it that are supposed to be from Virginia, and the mom you want to slap her across the face. She's so bad. And there's always one line that she gives, like they're like the city or wherever they're at's being bombarded by cannon fire, and then when it's over with, she goes like, "What's out here in the cellar?" And it's like just the way that she says it is just so like over the top. You're like, Jesus Christ, was that a one take? I mean, how many takes did you?
That's where you want Wayne's World. I know this is just a small part.
It's just a small part,
but you take her out and bring Meryl Streep in just for that part.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I just want to say
that
that Nick doesn't speak for the entire RCAD when he says that he wants to smack women, but
Correct.
you are representing the South, so we'll just leave it at.
No, get it.
Wow.
The one
fucking wow, dude.
What's it? Sam Elliott. Is it Sam Elliott?
I'm sorry.
Gotta take that heel. Take that heel.
Oh.
You have to excuse me for a second here. I'm playing Daddy Daycare, and my son, who's supposed to be sleeping, is most definitely not. I'll be right back.
Hey, I just heard my son too. So
hey,
I'm in the basement, so I hear them.
So I can leave too.
Well, I'm taking you with me, I guess. I'm not taking this thing off. So
cool.
But
yeah. let's go on a little journey, shall we?
Maybe that's what it was.
I don't know many Peter Sellers movies other than Dr. Strangelove and Pink Panther, and maybe another one in there. But
also watched speaking of Pink Panther, I watched the first half of actually did I watch them both? I think we started to watch the second half of the Steve Martin documentary. It's really fascinating.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just called Steve, isn't it?
Steve, yeah.
Yeah.
It's really
as if there's no other Steves out there.
Yeah.
Right.
His dad was a bit of a dick. It's like Johnny Carson's mom was just a royal bitch to him and stuff. So it's pretty fascinating. I enjoyed it. But speak that because he played Peter Sellers.
What is that on? What is that
It is on, I think, Apple.
Apple?
Apple
really?
TV?
Okay.
I believe so, yeah. We started watching the second one, and my wife was too tired, so we stopped it. And we haven't gone back to it. I can't remember if we saw it. Well, because his last stand-up routine, his last stand-up act was in 1980.
Wow.
Yeah.
He just said, okay, now I'm going to move on. He's kind of one of those people who goes, okay, I've done it all.
Right.
I can't keep, because his comedy was so different from other types of comedy. I mean, there's a lot of people they show him doing stand-up and nobody getting it.
Yeah.
I was a huge fan of. We used to do the Happy Feet in the state. Just all the stupid stuff he did, we would do as kids because it was Steve. It was classic. But yeah, I didn't realize. I knew he quit, but I didn't realize it was 1980.
Yeah.
I was thinking like early 80s, not 80.
Yeah. No, I knew that it didn't go really far beyond 1970 because after The Jerk, it really cemented him as everything that he started doing with SNL. But and there's a autobiography, even though they call it a biography, because he almost kind of considers it like a different him almost, and it's his biography about his stand-up period. And if you listen to the audiobook, he reads it, so it's just as funny because it's Steve reading about like his early days. So I highly recommend even the audiobook just because it's like, hey, it's Steve Martin and he's talking to you about his stand-up years, and it gets into the Rowan Martin and the Laugh-In years and how that kind of leads to certain things. So
well, he was on the Smothers Brothers and
Smothers Brothers. Sorry, not Laugh-In. Excuse me.
Yeah, but he was.
But it talks about those early kind of and Disneyland, working at Disneyland.
He started passing out programs, and then he went to the magic shop.
Interesting.
And so that's how he got. It's really. I mean, but his second movie was Pennies from Heaven, and didn't do so well.
Yeah.
Because he spent 6 months learning how to tap dance. That's actually him dancing. He just said, I'm going to learn how to do it. He's a fascinating individual.
Yeah, for sure. And just the different movements of his career too. Because he's, you'd think, he's done, and then it's like, nope, he's got some more left in him. So I just recently went through and watched, the kids have really been into watching SNL. Like, so we've been watching kind of like some of the, just kind of
The
picking
good
and choosing
years?
different. No, actually, I mean, we've been watching some of the recent stuff.
Oh, the recent.
I like Sarah Sherman. She's one of the kind of standout people from this current cast. But we recently watched the Steve Martin Short. And if you haven't seen that one from Christmas of this season, it's worth watching their opening monologue, because you're basically getting a piece of their live performance where they're basically just ripping each other apart, and it's hilarious. Like how their banter and their chemistry is just
awesome.
So worth it to watch the monologue, but it's
there's one thing
I like. Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I was wrong about Saturday Night Live when Shay and Scarlett Johansson's husband,
Colin Jost,
when they first started, they were terrible. They had no comedic time. It just wasn't working. And I got to be honest,
it's probably the best part of Saturday Night Live now.
Yeah, I will go search YouTube just for that now, because it's so funny. I mean, it took them a while. I said, these guys are terrible. They need to get rid of them. And they pulled it off.
Yeah, like I doubt you could find it if you wanted like a composite. I remember they released a 15th anniversary of SNL in '90, and I used to have that on VHS. And I would watch that just all the time, because it was all. I mean, it was all the highlights of the past 15 years, and so
Killer Bees.
Yeah, you got Killer Bees.
Jaws.
You got Jaws. You got
Land Shark.
Land Shark.
Hans and Franz.
Okay, just
Hans and Franz.
And then you forget that like Billy Crystal and that whole there's only 1 year. They were just on for 1 year. It just blows my mind. Like
you look marvelous.
You look marvelous. Yeah.
Well, they went through several kind of periods.
Chopping broccoli.
Well, yeah, because like
came back.
Yeah, because the early 80s, like the
86,
83 through 84, where those two seasons were so bad that
I think it's 86 that I think it was 86 or 87 that Carvey starts.
Yeah.
And once he starts on there, then it's kind of like a whole new cast and a new era. But each generation kind of has their era of actors and what have you. I think the Josh Brolin one, the one that just aired most recently, isn't as good. The Josh Brolin one is, I think, hilarious. Like I think there's a lot of funny stuff in there. But my daughter has picked up on my absurd sense of humor, so she really likes stuff that's absurd. And my son has picked up on my macabre sense of humor, so where things get really like dark and kind of like weird, like dark in a weird way. So there's a skit from the Christmas episode of this year where Scrooge is handing out coins to the kid to go buy a goose, but the coin flies into the kid's eye.
Yeah, yes.
My kids both thought that was a riot. Like just that whole.
That kid lost an eye, but it's funny. You gotta do it. You gotta do
and then he keeps throwing coins and somebody loses fingers or something. Like that. It's worth it. So,
but before we go on with SNL, let's take a commercial break.
Yeah,
but I think what made Saturday Night Live so in the beginning so special was they were going and talking about topics and going directions that TV didn't do.
Right.
Yeah.
It was so far ahead of its time that you'd be like going, and then the Killer Bees, because back then, the whole world was where, it wasn't quicksand anymore. It was these bees were going to kill us all, because they were making movies about these bees, these African bees that were just angry and they were going to kill you. I think one person died from it. I could be wrong. Could have been up to 2, but they get the whole thing, the killer bees and their bandits and stuff. That was just great.
Yeah. And what blows my mind, sorry, Chris, is I didn't know that until, I don't know, like 6-7 years ago, that the transition from the Will Ferrells, but from the classic 90s of the Hartmans and the Chris Farley and Adam Sandler and Norm Macdonald and all them, I didn't realize that was actually they had changed upper management, and he basically fired all of that cast because he felt like they'd been on too long and they wanted new blood. And
well, they all go out in different ways though, because
they do.
Norm
But
Macdonald goes out because of the OJ comment, and completely, you know,
he wouldn't stop.
And so, but again, I think each, because I really enjoy the Bill Hader and the Lonely Island era, of the 2000s. So I really enjoyed the Tina Fey, Amy Poehler era on Weekend Update, and then eventually, like, we got Seth. I just recently saw the Amy Poehler rapping while she's pregnant on Weekend Update, and it's a Sarah Palin themed rap, and it still holds up. Like, it's just so funny. So,
go ahead. Will Fry mentions Julie Louis-Dreyfus, and something came out this week. There's never been any attractive women on SNL? And I'm like, okay, this
that's not true.
Yeah, this had to be something for people just to,
Yeah, for sure.
So, have you guys seen that movie that's being made, SNL 1975?
I've seen it. I've heard of it, but no. Other than that, no.
Yeah, so it's coming out. It's I think Reitman is doing it.
Really?
Jason Reitman is directing it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's gonna have Finn Wolfhard from Stranger Things is gonna be in it. A bunch of actors and actresses who I don't know. But a lot of the cast members, the characters are amazing. So you got Finn Wolfhard's playing up like an NBC, like, I think, employee, a page or something like that. Okay. Willem Dafoe's in it playing David Tebbutt.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure who David Tebbutt is.
Glasses.
Oh yeah. J.K. Simmons is playing Milton Berle.
Oh yeah, he's such an elastic player.
That was one of the worst episodes in the history.
Yeah. Dan Aykroyd is being played by this dude named Dylan O'Brien. Don't know who that is. Rosie Schuster is being played by Rachel Sennett. Neil Levy is playing Andrew Feldman. Lorne Michaels, like Chevy Chase, is in it, or like the characters of Chevy Chase. Right. Jacqueline Carlin, Chase's ex-wife. Dick Ebersol, John Belushi. It's like a cast of like incredible characters.
So what happened behind the scenes?
Yeah.
Oh,
okay. So it could be pretty cool. Gilda Radner's characters in it, like Jim
coming
Henson.
Up on 50 years. So Jim Henson was.
Well, it's specifically 1975. So it's behind the scenes of the first. Well, led up to the moments leading up to the first actual episode.
But he had sketches in the first season. Henson did. Mm-hmm. There were puppet sketches, and he wanted to make an adult themed puppet like sketch, and so it's.
I'm over here, Miss
Piggy. Yeah, I mean, he was going for some adult humor, so, which is kind of funny to think of the guy that created Sesame Street as like, hey, I want to do edgy comedy that's adult themed, but with puppets.
I get it.
Right.
You want to.
I mean, it's no different than South Park doing with like cartoons. So yeah, Triest is right. It's not strong, and eventually Henson does right the ship with the Muppet Show and basically makes his own SNL with he just needed to tone down the adult stuff.
I think everybody though wants to go. You can't all be sunshine all the time. So I mean, I love Dark Crystal, but there's a lot of people out there who don't. But
sure.
I mean, that to me was another outlet for him. But I think the show, Age of whatever it's called, I think that really helped make the Dark Crystal movie even better.
Oh yeah, no, the TV show, and it's too bad that we'll never get another one like that.
They answered like 90% of everything that needed to be answered, but there's still a bit room that they could have gone.
Yeah. So, Rand, just off topic here, and it's something that I've been thinking about, but I wanted to talk to you guys about, and we don't have to do it this week. We can workshop this, but I really enjoyed Nick's, fantasy music band thing. I mean, of course, because sure. But it was kind of like a fun, kind of like ongoing
thing.
I
did enjoy it.
So I was thinking maybe we make one that's like fantasy movie where we cast a director, a lead actor, a lead actress, and we could do like even the cast of something where we're kind of saying like this is going to be the ancillary characters are going to be made from
we
the
going
cast.
for comedy? Can we go comedy, or does that be?
So this was the other thing too. Do we say genre? Because genre like really kind of like cements like what the theme of this movie is. Because you could say, hey, I want Spielberg, but you know what? The genre I want to do is, horror, so which he tried with Poltergeist, but failed. So for him to do it, he kind of had to.
Yeah.
I
like that.
Well, there are some of his movies that are horrors.
Yeah. Well, the first
not genre though.
Jaws.
No, I mean they're just bad.
I did.
That movie with the semi truck. So
Maximum Overdrive.
Yeah.
Dare.
No. Duel.
No, not Dare. It's with
I think it's called Duel, isn't
it? Dennis Weaver.
Yeah. Duel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with
apparently some guy found that truck though. It was just sitting in the lot for like 20 years, and he completely restored it and still and drives it.
So now he's harassing people down
hills? Just driving around. Did you watch Farscape? I did not watch Farscape, Jim. I know the show. I just never watched it. No.
Yeah, I'm wondering how that would hold up. I definitely watched Farscape probably a good 15 years ago or what have you. Went through that whole show, and there's some really great puppetry and
my chair's really
that.
Squeaky. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. I just thought that was kind of a unique fart. So anyway, we can kind of table this till next week when we want to decide
you just need a brainstorm of like who basically like what I did, you choose this, then choose this, then choose this. Mm-hmm. So we can go genre first if you want, or just say we're going to choose this genre, and then say like, okay, who's our director, who's our lead actor,
do it once a week.
Yeah,
do it. Or you got people like, why did because if you don't, especially on this one, if you don't listen to it,
sure,
you're really not going to know what we're talking about.
Yeah, but they didn't know with the bands either. So
well, I'm just saying, but they could say, Steve.
I think it's better to say like this as opposed to like this is the greatest director, because I think we've done directors in the past, or actors and actresses. We just say fantasy movie. Or,
so we're the
fantasy is not
the casting.
Right,
we're the casting director.
Casting director, yeah. Because I mean,
I guess so. We're the producer.
And Nick, you cannot have a couch. No, not anymore.
Oh man, I'm out then.
Time to go on to a woman hunt.
It is true though. Like what genre we end up picking will definitely influence your selections, because
of course.
Because I'm sure Jack would want to pick his best friend, Tom Cruise for most things.
Well, yeah, we're not really talking right now.
Oh,
sorry.
Pissed off Scientology, huh?
I'm not gonna even go into it.
Anyhow. Well, anyway, I was thinking about. Maybe we can
like that
start it next week.
Daniel Day-Lewis. It was who you're thinking of earlier. And the name just came into my head.
We literally said it out loud.
I wasn't listening.
Oh, well, that's not surprising.
You want a milkshake? I want a milkshake.
Damn.
Honestly, though, Daniel Day-Lewis in Gangs of New York was one of my favorite characters of all time.
I didn't like.
He was like was scary.
Oh yeah,
he was terrifying. Bill the Butcher. You shitting me?
Yeah. I had not seen it till maybe 2 months ago, where Leonardo DiCaprio was talking about that. How like 2 or 3 weeks before principal shooting, he goes, me and him would hang out and we'd shoot the shit and have a good time, go out for a beer or something. And then like 3 days before we shot, I walked up to him and was like, hey, Daniel. And he just kind of, and like he was already in the character at that point. So you couldn't refer to him as Daniel. You had to actually call him Bill, and I even remember Cameron Diaz talking about that. Like they said, what was it like to work with him? She goes, I don't know. She goes, I've only known him as Bill. And so I've never actually met him.
That's awesome.
It's funny. Some actors, you go ahead and accept it because, well, he's such a great actor. But then, other actors like going, okay, yeah, whatever. Method acting.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't get it, but I'm not an actor. I think I could turn it on, then it's okay after it's done, go do something else. Like, I can't be that same person 24 hours a day.
Daniel Day Kim? No, not Daniel Day Kim.
I mean, I think it just depends on the role, and like I don't think I could do. I'd be like you, Jack. Like as soon as they say cut, I'm gonna be myself.
Yeah.
But like I in that Val Kilmer documentary, Val, he talks about that, how he kind of went. I don't know if he went full method, but for Jim Morrison on the Doors, he said he drove his wife nuts because that's all he did was he was just Jim Morrison for like 2 years of his life, just singing Doors songs and being this obnoxious alcoholic.
Yeah, which was a lot of fun for him.
All right, I think what we do is we pick our genre and director. That way, because if we just pick genre, like who's going to vote on a genre, right? Like,
yeah, that's kind of what I meant. Like we need to pick our genre first, right? Just so we have an idea, and then
and then
can we pick the same thing? What if we want the same thing?
Well, we can't pick the same. Oh, you mean the same genre?
I mean, what if I want to do?
I think we
might need some time to flesh this one out a little bit.
Yeah, we're working on it. The one thing about a genre is that you could have a different. It's like if I wanted sci-fi, but wanted,
I want sci-fi noir.
See, you can be so specific with genre there, right? I want sci-fi western.
Exactly, sci-fi western. So we got
sci-fi western.
We got
Space Cowboys.
Space Cowboys, one of the worst films ever.
Star Wars is a space western.
It is, but that's a good
Space Cowboys is. You don't like Space Cowboys?
That was the
Cowboys and Aliens.
That's what I'm thinking of. Cowboys and Aliens with
I knew what you meant.
With James Bond and
and
I didn't hate it.
It was fucking terrible.
I remember the promo at Comic-Con. Like you were like, "Oh, search around San Diego to find a gold bar, and then you can, get a free ticket to the premiere." And it's like, dude, I just paid enough money to go to fucking Comic-Con. I'm not searching around San Diego for a movie.
Well, if I find a gold bar, I'm going to keep the gold bar.
Fake gold bar.
Oh, fuck that then.
Yeah, I'm so glad I didn't bother. But yeah, that movie was horrible.
I didn't hate it. Now, Space Cowboys was the movie with Clint Eastwood, Tommy Lee Jones, James Garner,
and that wasn't too bad. It could have been better, but not too
okay. I'm with Jack. I like Cowboys and Aliens better than Space Cowboys.
I didn't say I liked it better.
They're two totally
I said
films,
I didn't hate it. That's what I'm saying.
I guess what I like
ketchup versus mustard.
Yeah.
No one cares, John. No one fucking cares.
Yeah. I don't know. Space Cowboy, I guess because I just like the old farts. It's kind of like I love grumpy old men and grumpier old men. I just like old men bickering at each other.
Yeah.
I've been watching YouTube.
Why not catty old women?
Catty-o. Yeah, there we go. We can make that our. We decided to make a movie called Catty-o Women. Who's going to be our director and our actress?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, that's the thing. Is you got to have a title.
You have a title. Yeah, we have to have. We all are making the same film. That's how we need to do it. We're all making the same film.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought we were doing from the beginning.
And now we have to pick our director to make this idea with the cast. Okay. Yeah, so just brainstorm on that, Matt, and we can.
I like it.
Sure.
I was saying
we're going to
watching YouTube a lot about James Garner and other actors talking about James Garner, and nobody else bad. They just say he's a stand-up guy. He who was he with? Some guy was who was it? He's on one episode of Rockford Files. He comes up, knocks on the trailer. All right, enjoy yourself, have fun, all this different stuff. Da, da, da. He goes, I'm just a nobody, and he's coming up, and it's James Garner, and then he goes, who was the actor? Because he was talking. He said, then he went and his parents came to town. So he goes to James Garner's trailer, knocks on the door. Hey, yeah, my parents are in town. And it was the exact, no, we don't have time for that. And James Garner said, oh, yeah, we do. So he walked out and spent like an hour talking with this actor and his parents.
Oh, wow.
The commissary
He's probably been dead a decade now, hasn't it?
Oh, at least, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, because to me, I don't think he was older, but but the thing is that Clint Eastwood, Donald Sutherland, and Tommy Lee Jones they're still kicking. They're still kicking. Yeah,
barely.
Who was the actor? They were all these actors were just saying what a great guy he was and how he was such a just a down to earth person to work with, and he was a major
Well,
star.
Jennifer Gardner is really nice too, so I only assume.
Her ex-husband's a jerk. But,
Yeah, I know.
Wait, they're not.
No, they've been separated for a long time.
They're not related.
No,
they're
because
not
Jennifer
related.
Garner's father just passed away, like this week.
because
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Sorry to step on that.
Yeah, good one.
Yeah.
she every time she
Yeah,
goes, "What's in
thanks.
your
I
wallet?"
like
I
to
say,
be
"A
tiny."
condom." What do you think?
God, what's in your
I fucking love Jennifer Garner.
lint? Oh yeah,
She has aged extremely well.
I would agree.
I
I
would
think
agree.
she looks better now than
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, she's pretty smoking hot in 13 going on 30.
What was that actor's name? That's gonna drive me crazy.
Was she 13 or 30? Because you're really giving creepy vibes here to me.
Told you, no casting couch, Nick.
Okay, Weinstein is not going to be my production company.
Oh, okay. I see how it is.
Hey,
And you're not getting Dan Schneider either. Hey, oh.
Not only is that going to be on my production company, we're going to an island to film.
I guess you're not picking Kevin Spacey as your actor.
I was looking at on
We shall
TikTok, and
see.
someone had a conspiracy post up that Epstein Island is the same shape as the Nickelodeon logo.
Yes.
Awful.
Yeah,
I shouldn't laugh
saw
at that. I am laughing at it, but I shouldn't.
I saw that too. I thought it was pretty funny. Speaking, I went and saw Ghostbusters.
Did you now?
Oh, okay.
With my wife and the biggest Ghostbuster fan in the history of. We'll never say anything bad about Ghostbusters. My son, he's already seen it 3 times. I told my wife, how could he sit through that 3 times? I don't.
Yeah, exactly.
My wife.
I've heard it's fucking terrible.
Yeah,
my wife actually liked the movie. I literally fell asleep twice, and she hit me twice. I went, okay, I'm not. I was comfortable. We're at Alamo Draft House. The chair was comfortable. I'm leaning back, and I go. It was. I'll say this: Ghostbusters 2 was better.
Ooh.
Wow.
I could say. I mean, yeah. The one review from a guy I trust. I'll tell you his review at first, and then I'll
wait. Are you telling me that you don't trust Jay?
No.
He is not a source that you can trust in this particular situation.
No.
He's not a reliable source.
Yeah, he's not going to give you an honest opinion on it. Yeah, but
there's no jokes in the movie.
Well, the review said that they enjoyed it and that it actually had a story to it compared to the last one that didn't really have much of a story, as in a true story. Said that there was just too many characters to keep up with, and the villain was extremely lame because it wasn't a fleshed out villain, and it
was anticlimactic.
It's anticlimactic,
it's
yeah.
like,
Please tell me that the villain has no dick.
No dick, yeah.
And that I'll tell you right now, that's where they made their mistake. That's where they made the mistake because Bill Murray's in the movie. Peck is in the movie, and spoiler alert, if you don't want to hear it, the whole time I'm thinking he needs to walk up and say, "Hey, what's up, no dick?" Something like that.
Right.
Now, someone in the crowd yells that man has no dick, but Bill Murray didn't say it. I'm like going, that was your one.
It's a missed opportunity.
I go,
which means the movie has no balls.
Yeah. No, it has no balls.
And you're gonna get shafted.
Yeah,
I think so.
The movie I like Paul Rudd.
Mm-hmm.
I like what's her name? Leftovers. I'm drawing a blank on her name.
She is the actress.
She's
too.
Carrie Coon. It just every joke fell flat.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's like, okay, all right. I couldn't wait for it to end.
Well,
I just didn't like it.
I was able to get my hands on one of their commemorative popcorn buckets.
Oh,
for Dune?
Did you fuck Slimer in the ass?
No, not Dune, but AMC made a popcorn bucket for Ghostbusters, which is it's a ghost catcher.
Oh,
that has
is that what they're calling it?
LED lights that pop up around, so you put the popcorn in, and
that is kind of cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
I was thinking of a different.
Again, I don't know how it's. I don't know how it's doing at the theater, but
it's getting killed.
It got killed. It did well its first weekend, but then when Godzilla came out with Kong, it just dropped completely.
It did well the first weekend, but when any other movie came out, it got destroyed.
It's just sad. I mean, again, the first one.
Well,
is one of the best movies of all time,
and the second one holds its own.
Second one is terrible.
I will wait for this one to come out on DVD.
It's no Dune 2, which
DVD?
is the movie.
Fuck.
Dune 2 is the movie you should see in the movie theater.
What? This is 2002?
Dune Part 2 is the movie you should see in the movie theater.
Part 2
in IMAX.
I'm serious, because Spielberg said that it's the greatest sci-fi movie of all time.
So did George Lucas. That's why you stole it.
He did.
Well, the book, elements from the book.
That's my. Go with the joke, Matt. For fuck's sake, it's about George Lucas not having a single own thought for Star Wars.
Okay, fair, but I can't express to you enough
pushing buttons.
The scene in Dune that's Part 2 that's worthwhile. I'm just telling you that it's worth seeing it in the movie theater.
I wrote something else down here, but I can't read my writing, so I don't even know what I was going to talk about.
Cliff called me like 2-3 days ago and wanted to talk about Ghostbusters because he's like, "Did you see it?" And I'm like, "No." And he's like, "Yeah, you wouldn't have liked it." I was like, "All right."
Again, Jay that I know of has seen it 3 times. He was in the premiere. He went to the premiere in New York. He was on the red carpet, filming the red carpet.
Yes.
He saw it with his kids, and then he saw it with. He goes, because Cindy and I were going to go to a movie. He goes, "Can I come again?" I go, "Is it that good?" "Oh yeah, oh yeah." It sucks.
It sucks.
Again, Cindy goes,
"What was he filming the red carpet for?"
There's a group that does a podcast on.
And he got invited. Yeah.
And he got invited to do their film.
Oh.
He does things with them. But I'm like going, again, you look at the cast, it's a good cast, but it's just like, I don't know.
Well, too many cooks.
Too many cooks. And then I think it's also, they're making the same mistake they made with
number 2.
No, with the last Ant-Man movie, is that people there's a really good breakdown made a few years back comparing the original Ghostbusters to the 2016 reboot about how do you explain a joke, how do you tell a joke, and and there's a really good scene where they talk about the elevator scene where they turn on the proton pack for the first time, and it's literally 30 seconds, but you understand everything in that 30 seconds. And then with the 2016 version, it takes them 4 minutes to explain the same thing. But they're talking about how in the original one, they set up the credentials of anyone who's going to be scientific. You have to set up the credentials of this character to make it believable to the audience. And so both with Ant-Man and with the last 2 Ghostbusters, you have a 15-year-old kid who understands nuclear fucking science, and you're like, really?
Quantum physics.
Yeah. And you're like, and it's just kind of bullshit in a way, and it's not believable. And that's just one gripe. But it's just a chain reaction of things that's it's not believable from this point, and then
if you're talking about the same character, this character, she falls in love with this hot girl. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, that
you'll understand when you see it. Okay. I don't want to spoil you.
I'm not gonna see it.
Yeah.
No, you'll see it eventually. Yeah. The first one had jokes, it had drama, it had. You're talking about some of the funniest people on the planet. So, but this is just. I don't find the little Stay Puft guys cute. I don't just get them out of here. I don't like them. Just move on. It's like move on. I know you're trying to sell merchandise and you're trying to sell stuff, but I want to pay to see a good movie, not a bunch of crap.
Yeah.
There, I said it.
Yeah.
Well,
done.
You could have gone to see Dune Part 2.
Exactly.
I could have, but I don't think my wife would have sat through Dune Part 2.
It goes by quick.
I don't know. You the experience of
what?
Tree
says that this one guy was telling my fan, and seriously tried to argue that the original was not a comedy.
How?
The second one, but the first one was definitely a comedy.
100%.
you think that the blowjob scene is just for like tension, like psychological tension.
She could have bit his dick off. You don't know.
Well, there is
This
that.
man has no dick.
Now it comes full circle.
Mm-hmm.
This man has no dick.
Well, yeah, the thing is where he goes, everything was fine here till dickless over here, and the mayor goes, "Is that true?" Yes, it's true. This man has no dick. Well, that's what I heard. That's funny.
There's a lot, yeah. That's one big Twinkie.
Well, it's a missed opportunity, Jack, and I appreciate you kind of like, because I would have gone into the movie thinking, "Where is the dickless joke? I need that."
Someone in the crowd says it, but it's not said by
the main cast.
By the main cast.
Said by Murray. And come on, how you been, dickless? I mean, there's a number of things you said. I go, how did that not even come up?
The rest of my childhood hopes rely on Beetlejuice. So
I think it'll be good. I'm hoping it'll be good.
I'm hoping. Actually, they cut out the child pedophile, so that's good.
Yeah.
Oh right. Yeah.
They left him in Deadwood.
No, he came back after being convicted and was on Deadwood. He wasn't left in. He was brought back.
Yeah, he came back. He was back for the movie.
Because Deadwood has no rules. They live by the Wild West.
Right.
Welcome to fucking Deadwood.
They were like, well, this man.
They had young prostitutes then. I mean, I'm not saying it was right.
I just hope that Tim Burton sticks to his darker side.
He's hit or miss.
Yeah, because even though I really liked Wednesday, I felt there's some aspects of Wednesdays I really liked, and then there's too much of a Harry Potter feel as well to it.
It deviated so much from the comic.
Yeah, from the comic. But the first episode of Wednesday I loved. I loved the opening. I loved some of the dark humor sentences in the first episode, and then it kind of
for some reason stopped watching it.
So what?
I saw the first two, and my wife went ahead and watched it without me. And I just said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna watch it."
Huh.
I mean, it's good. I liked Wednesday. I still say would watch it, but it's not what I was expecting from Tim Burton.
I am looking forward to the Fall Guy.
With Ryan. What's his name?
Ryan Gosling and Emily. Not Emily. What's her name?
Both of them
Emily Blunt
are staying pretty strong. You know, with their movie choices.
I said, how are they going to do this? Yeah. So it looks like it's going to be basically similar to the TV show, which I was a huge fan of the TV show.
Yeah.
Yes, John, they're trying to get my wife finished without me. It's happened before.
That happens a lot.
As long as I'm happy, it's all that matters.
Well, that's good. That's good stuff.
Good stuff, wild and wacky.
Then who was not with us last week? I mean, we all took a break, but was it Matt? Were you somewhere, or was Chris somewhere? Or
I was here last time we talked.
I know
it was you.
I know I said I wasn't sure, but someone else couldn't make it as well. So we're like,
Matt went to Ohio.
I did.
That's right, Ohio.
Yeah, just for it was just kind of a day trip. She's kind of my niece. It's my cousin's daughter, but my cousin and I were 2 months apart in age, so we're kind of like brothers in that way. So it's his daughter, but she's a tattoo artist, and my wife was getting some touch-ups done on her tattoo. So, and then I was telling Jack beforehand, but last summer they had a house fire, and so thankfully they didn't lose the house, but they lost all the electricity in the house. It was an electrical fire. The fire department, when they came out, they smashed the box, which put a surge through and killed all of their appliances. The smoke, the heat actually was so hot that it blew off all of the fittings on the pipe and the plumbing. So then they had water damage in the basement. And then this is the darkest and saddest part of it, but they had 2 dogs that died.
You didn't tell me that.
Of smoke.
Inhalation. Yeah.
Inhalation. Yeah. And, fortunately, nobody was home, and the fact that they could have lost their life, and a neighbor saw it, so that the fire department, but then one of the people from the fire department that came out to fight the fire later died at the hospital from complications.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. So it's just horrible all around, like really sad. Then they had to fight for, the insurance money, and, it just was just a real struggle. And so they now have their house, they're really close to being done with everything, having the money now to fix everything. But, my grandfather had designed and made this house. It was something that they had built, our shared grandparents, our grandfather and grandmother. So all of that was kind of like redone, and he was really concerned, like, oh, we wanted to stay true to it, but I'm like, you got to make it your own, man. Like, your whole house, this is the time to so like there were certain walls that were changed, and they were able to kind of like improve some things, as they remade the house. But so it was good kind of catching up with him. And he's a comic book collector and aficionado, so we got to kind of geek out a little bit.
Did he lose comic books in the
No, actually, so I'm not sure if he lost some, because I know he had some in the basement, but he and his wife, they have a business that they run, that they kind of sell. They get like those kind of like Amazon, like pallets, or not even just from Amazon, but they'll get pallets. And they have collectibles as well. So he has kind of like a collectible store with a lot of random stuff. They're in Defiance, Ohio. So if you're in that area, check out 2-4s. So as in 241, so help him out. But it was good going back. It's the town that I grew up in. So while my wife was busy getting tatted up, my kids and I kind of drove them around and showed them kind of all the places that I grew up and remembered. So
cool.
yeah, so it was a nice short little visit. Yeah, Easter Sunday, the kids got some rollerblades, and so they, my daughter's of an age where she's like, at about 10, I kind of wondered, like, how is this bunny carrying all of this shit? Like, so, Miami Mike says, on this week's Versus, who can come up with a sadder story than Matt's?
I don't think I can.
I always think.
Oh wait, I won. I saw Ghostbusters.
Oh, Ghostbusters 2 versus Matt's story. You could just put that. So
I always think of Bill Hicks talking about Easter. It's just like he goes. You guys ever read the Bible? I can't find a fucking bunny or eggs or any of that shit in that book. He goes.
It makes no sense.
It makes no sense. He goes. Well, okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, he goes like he goes, fuck. He goes, why don't you just say, like, he's gonna leave Lincoln Logs in your sock drawer, or something. He's like, he goes, it's the same shit, He goes, and he's like, and of course he goes, for a comedic person, he always goes in a British accent. He's like, mommy. He's like, when I woke up this morning, I found there's Lincoln Logs in my sock drawer. He goes, that's the story of Jesus.
My wife just goes overboard with the grandkids. I mean, these I go, I'm gonna have to have help carrying these baskets down. They're too fucking heavy. And every day Amazon was dropping. I go, what is this? Well, right. I saw something the kids would like. I go, it's just fucking Easter.
Yeah.
It's just I go, when we were kids, we did the Easter egg hunt with real eggs. Again, I think we talked about this before. They get cracks.
They were not hard boiled.
That's because the eggs were cheap back then, Jack. You know how fucking expensive eggs are now.
But there was always an egg you forget about.
Oh yeah.
And then 6 months later, it's like, what the hell's that smell? Oh, I found the last egg everyone was looking for. And you get a bucket with like a chocolate rabbit, a paddle ball, some jacks, maybe some Old Maid cards, whatever the game of choice was back then. These fucking kids, man. I'm like going.
To be clear,
we have to go here and do this. I go, why?
To be clear, My wife bought these ahead of time. The kids got them like a week before Easter, so they already kind of knew like this is So it wasn't like a big
but there, silver lining here. The good thing about Easter is that that's the time you can get the big fucking Reese's peanut butter cup egg. Like the big ass peanut butter cup, which the peanut butter cup egg and the Christmas tree egg are the far superior to the actual OG, in my humble opinion.
Original jelly beans.
What are you sharing there, Jack?
Original jelly beans, the branches.
Oh, are they the spicy kind?
No,
they're not spiced.
They're just the original fucking jelly beans, the classic.
No, you gotta have spiced.
No, I don't like. No, I want the original jelly beans.
The spiced is the original, man.
It's not.
It turns your eyes blue.
You guys know that Chris became Wilford Brimley?
Chris what?
Yeah, eating all those gigantic peanut butter cups. He got the diabetes.
JP mentioned remake of a BJ and the Bear. You guys probably never saw that video.
No, never did.
No.
Is that happening, or is that just a wish fulfillment?
I think he wants it to happen.
That's really what should happen. I think is with all the non-original thinkers in Hollywood today, why are we remaking good films that no one wants them to remake? They should just remake the shitty films that were good plots, but just were not properly executed, like Dune. There's so many. Like even heck, you could remake Tango and Cash and probably make it a hell of a lot better.
I don't know if that plot was any good.
It wasn't any good. I'm just saying, but you could. Yeah.
I think Hollywood likes to capitalize on what a certain generation and demographic like is gonna. So BJ and the Bear. I'm sorry, I think.
Well, the problem with the title, there's not a BJ in the TV show, and the bear is a monkey.
Oh.
But the theme song is like almost 2 minutes long.
That's when you could have a 2-minute theme song and it would carry your show. So
I'm telling you, if you want to hear a good theme song, go on YouTube and put BJ in the
theme song on here every week.
I mentioned this show, I think last time we met. Still enjoying it. X-Men 97 keeps to the original theme song. And talk about a banger of a theme song. I mean, they didn't change any of the lyrics. That's the lyrics, man.
I mean, it's no gummy bears, but
bouncing here and there and everywhere.
Isn't that the theme from Dun, 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 Dun? Isn't that Perry Mason?
No.
Mm-hmm. That is Perry Mason.
You go watch an X-Men 97.
Am I doing? That's Perry Mason.
Nope.
No.
It's
you don't understand our generation. We don't understand you.
You stole it.
Go to bed, boomer.
Yeah. This is like every time Evil Ways by Santana comes on. I don't know how you didn't get sued because it's Love Potion number 9. It's the same fucking song.
Yeah. But sure, go ahead. Take George Harrison's money for making one of the most beautiful, majestic albums of all time. So fine.
If he just would have changed one chord, then it'd been fine. But that's the thing.
Yeah.
Which is why, like, I think if you listen to the 2000 version he did, it's different.
That's Perry Mason.
It's not the fucking Perry Mason. You haven't even seen X-Men. So
no, but the song you're humming is Perry Mason.
No, it's not. That's not. That's it has nothing to do with what I was just humming. You added a second, like in third chorus to what I was doing.
How does it sound like "I'm Your Baby Today"? Huh? I'm your baby. That one.
Just reading John the Retired Guy's comment. Can I wait a minute before I start my song in the next episode? People need this time. There's this thing called the internet where you can just go back and like rewind to the beginning of the episode. And
you know what, John? No one fucking cares.
And no one cares really. But
so
I'm glad that you like my crappy songs, though, John.
Can you hear this?
No, we can't. No? It's only for you.
Oh, it's in my headphone.
Oh yeah, you stream Bill Fry because the song Jack's humming is Kelly Heroes.
That would make sense. We've lost Jack now. Why don't we go ahead and just take another commercial break?
Oh yeah, okay.
I'm telling you, that was Perry Mason. I was doing BJ and the Bear. I was doing BJ and the Bear.
You were doing BJ
You were
and the
doing
Bear.
a BJ.
Who got the BJ, the bear or you?
Yeah.
That's also how you don't end up getting a dick. So
Just
letting a bear give you fellatio.
Kelly's Heroes. I'm watching it now.
Jesus Christ, Jack, are you like 30 seconds behind?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm reading the channel.
Shit. Anyway, so anybody been watching NCAA basketball or?
I stopped on the Sweet 16.
Okay.
San Diego State got blown out by Connecticut, and I
did not.
Yeah. I mean,
I've never gotten into college basketball.
Everyone here, everyone's now wearing red and black. They're NC State fans. I mean, because they shouldn't have been in the tournament, number one, and now they're in the Final Four. I mean, if you saw the shot,
Purdue's going to win the whole thing. Purdue.
Well, NC State was losing by 3 with like 2 seconds left. This guard takes his off-balance shot, and it goes in, ties it, and they win in overtime. Now, there's rumors the coach was going to get fired, and the only reason NC State got in the tournament was because they won their conference tournament, and they haven't lost since. So now everyone's like, I mean, I'll root for them. What the hell? I don't care.
There's just a bunch of like Purdue posers everywhere right now because of
that's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah,
Matt, you
Indiana, right?
Matt, you rent out your house for the clips. You could have made some money, dude.
I probably could have. It's tentatively partly cloudy for that day, so fingers crossed. Yeah, like just like Louisiana is going to get fucked by some storms. You know, and my cousin also in Defiance is in the path of totality. And it just so happens that where we're in the middle line, so we get actually 4 minutes plus of totality. So we're in the actual peak area here. Same with Bloomington, just south of us. So
you should invite Trump over and have him look directly into it again.
Right. That's okay.
We all do.
I already deal with enough Trump supporters. No, but we're excited though because we don't have to leave our house, you know, and we can just kind of watch all of the craziness kind of unfold around us. Last, 7 years ago, my family and I we traveled down to Kentucky so that we could. 7 years ago, wow. Yeah, so we could see it. It was in August. At that time.
How were the accents down there in Kentucky?
We were in.
You had to go to Western Kentucky, so it's like my accent.
We were in the land between the lakes area.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, and we were right on that little Sauk Peninsula that comes down. Mm-hmm. And it was a beautiful place to see it, on the lake there, and you could see the horizon and everything. Hot as fuck because it was August. If this was happening in August or September, guaranteed you'd be able to see it. But because it's April,
right?
You got a 60% chance that you're not going to see it because of just how the weather is. So hopefully it works out. So I'll let you guys know because next Monday
is that when it is?
Yeah. Next Monday is when, Does it goes up through New York too?
Yeah, it starts like Baja, and then it goes through Mexico, through Texas,
California,
and then Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean it's great because we'll finally get to prove that the Earth's flat. So it's.
I'm about time.
Some dumbass though actually did say I saw that the other day that it was a conspiracy theory because the shadow is going west to east instead of east to west because the sun goes the other way, and you're like, do you not know how fucking shadows work?
Also, these are people that have no science degrees at all whatsoever. They barely passed.
Hey, they're bloggers.
Hey, and they're also injecting themselves with horse medicine. So it's like, do them.
No shit. Did you read that the French chemist recently that was basically like debunked about every there was some COVID drug that this French chemist was pushing, and it's finally been thoroughly debunked as being
now.
fake. So
how many people took it?
Yeah,
that's true, Will. Like, it's just barely missing Tennessee, where we're from. So yeah, if you go over to Sykeston or Cape Girardeau, it should be just fine to see it.
I'm going to Sykeston and whatever else you said.
I think we should be able to see it here, but not like in the
not a full
totality.
I got a TV. It'll be on.
There's a video. I've only seen it one time ever, and it happens 1 or twice a year. Where if you're actually at the pole, like at the North Pole, the moon, when it actually goes over the top of the North Pole, it like does this really freaky ass shit, and I was like, "That's cool."
I want to see that.
I would like to see that. Yeah.
I want to see the Northern Lights.
Me too.
Yeah. Like, this place.
When I was in Alaska, they said you might be able to see the Northern Lights.
Well, Edmonton is probably one of the best places to see them, which is farther south, but they tend to go in that northern Canada.
We couldn't.
Too oily.
Too oily. Yeah. Did y'all see that fight today or yesterday of the Rangers and somebody else at the puck?
All 5 guys went at it.
I just went at it. Yeah, didn't even face off. Just started fighting.
Yeah, it's like, okay, what could it probably happened from another game, or was it earlier in the game something happened, or
I don't know.
That was the start of the game, wasn't it?
This is the start of the game, yeah. So
If
something must have been said beforehand.
Hockey players have long. I mean, they don't forget. If you get cheap shotted, I played with a guy one time.
You think they would forget with all the head injuries?
You would think it was like 6 months later, and this guy who was like one of the most mellowest guys in the world, just like the first I was playing defense, I was like, "The fuck is he doing?" He's just beating the shit out of this guy. Gets thrown out, and we ask him afterwards. He goes, "He cheap shotted me like 6 months ago, and I never forgot." This guy was all bloody. The guy beat the shit out of him. I'm like going, damn. I tend to forget. It's like, okay, I'm okay now.
That's why Chris picks them when they're old.
What?
No.
What are you Googling, Chris?
Nothing.
You have a Google look, and even with your new,
you got a shit-eating grin. Yeah,
you have that look like.
I was watching somebody fall down. It was Reddit.
Were they old?
No.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
It's hard
to know if it was like
old people falling down.
Preference for you, you're like,
yeah. We know you like
this
to beat
old
the shit
trope.
out of old people.
Yes, this old trope. That should be this
There's
show.
the episode title. This old trope.
This old trope.
You got any emails?
Yeah, we do have one, but we've already covered everything that was in the email. But
Oh, really? So we don't even have to acknowledge its existence.
No, we gotta read it.
Yeah.
Oh,
that keeps the listeners coming back.
Yeah.
Well, the ones that care. There's a couple that don't care.
I don't care.
All right. This email is from Dennis.
Hello, Dennis.
And the title is
Hello,
2
lady.
Must-See TV Shows. Hi, Nick, Jack, Chris, and Matt.
Ooh, I'm back up to second.
Whatever.
If you haven't discussed these yet tonight, I want to be sure.
Wait, can you hold a second? John's the retired guy says, broadcast reads emails. Well, they need it.
Who?
The broadcast reads their emails. Well,
broadcast.
They have to. What else are they going to do?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I want to make sure that you know about these 2 new additions to the Streamiverse. The 3 Body Problem is the latest best-selling book trilogy that hit the small screen. From Chinese author, I can't pronounce that name. The makers of Game of Thrones do an excellent job of transferring from page to screen the unique, imaginative, and frightening premise of the book. All 8 episodes are ready to watch on Netflix. Not sure if 8 current episodes anyway.
No, it's 8 total for the season.
That's right. I'm thinking book.
Yeah.
So it's already.
I'm thinking Shogun.
Oh yeah, first season's done.
Yeah,
so you can stream it. You can binge it.
Just binge it. Yeah, most people I've recommended to just binged it in one night. They're like, "Oh man, it's just so good."
Right, I'm gonna watch it.
It does kind of end where you're like, oh man, like I wanted more, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, and that's it for that one. Oh, you can AMC watch it on Netflix. And then the second one, actor Steve Martin and his portfolio of his movies is often discussed here on the RCAD.
Steve.
And Apple TV is the place to find Steve, a documentary. It's split into 2 episodes titled Then and Now, compelling TV for many reasons, one of which is the abundance of clips and photos from his early life and career attempts. Yeah. Thanks, Dennis.
Yeah, he's right. It's excellent. I can't speak for the first
Oh,
one.
nice. Will Fry's hanging out in South Boston? Or his wife is. Oh, and you're joining next Thursday. That's awesome. Welcome to the Northeast, my friend.
Northeastern.
Who goes to Boston on purpose?
Our weather is atrocious right now. It's
cold.
Absolutely the worst.
I mean,
But hopefully, when you're out here, man, it'll be better for you.
I know,
just say something?
I know a guy who would rather prefer to go to Providence myself.
Is there some problem with me talking on this fucking show? Should I just leave this show permanently? Is that what you want from me? Because I don't understand. If I say something or talk, I get shit from the listeners. So whatever. If you don't want me to be on here, tell me. I'll just leave.
What?
What
I didn't
happened?
see it.
What are you referring to?
We don't care, but apparently I do, because I'm done with this like attacking me for everything. Anyway, listeners that I do care about, Sherry, thank you for recommending this to us.
What happened?
What is it?
The cloth that cleans your glasses, right? That is nerd based, right?
Oh, yes.
What is nerd based?
Nick, you talked about it as well. Like you bought some secretly nerdy.
Oh yes, I did. Those were great. Yeah, like I saw them advertised. I don't know, a few weeks back, and I was like, "Oh, those look neat." And so I checked out the website. Like Sherry recommended in an email, and yeah, there's some really cool ones on there. So I got ones that had TIE fighters and one that had X-wings.
Okay, what is nerd based though? Is it got a
just the company?
Oh, okay.
And they're definitely like sci-fi based. Like kind of, I guess high tech cleaning rags.
Well, I think one of their first products was Nerd Wax, and it looks like a tube of chapstick, and it's got like wax. It's a type of wax. So you put it on the I can't really touch my face, but you put it on over the bridge of your nose, so when you're wear your glasses, they don't slide down your face.
Really?
And it works incredibly well.
Chris, you sent us the email from Sherry. I bought one for my son as well for his upcoming birthday.
Where was I when this email came out? Was it on our
I
chat?
think I copied you on the email as well.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sure
just
you
in
did,
our
but
email. It's not even.
I may not have seen it.
So, but thank you, Sherry, for recommending that. I thought it was kind of a cool little thing. Got one for my daughter as well.
Nice.
So yeah.
Nice. I was going to say something. I can't remember what it was. You guys ready to wrap it up?
I'm about to fight somebody from Matt. I'm not sure who it is yet, but
I'm just done with the cheap shots. So
did I give you a cheap shot?
No.
But
it came out of nowhere. I felt maybe it was a glitch in the Matrix. I was like, where did that come from? But
yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't even talking, so I know it wasn't me.
Yeah.
Well, apparently I talked
I was on
too
Reddit.
much. Apparently I talked too much on this show about personal things, and if you don't want to hear them,
that's what this show's
tune
about.
the fuck out, or I'll leave.
No.
Then you can
they can fuck off before you leave.
No, Matt, we want you to stay.
Well, I get tired of it. So I come on here to have a good time with my friends, and week in, week out, you want to take cheap shots. I mean, whatever. But you know what? I'm tired of it. So I'm moving on. Please do the same. So we do have some of the listeners that we would like to thank for making this show possible.
That's you, Jack.
I thought you were going to keep going.
I'm not doing it. I'm not the producer.
I hope you take over producer role again.
Well, no, because then it would be my show apparently. So I don't want that to happen.
Well, it's not my show, right? So I don't think producer has that. I mean, I know people would be upset if I did leave because they love the classic.
Whoa. Hold on a second. If you wait long enough, Matt's microphone will match the fucking painting right behind it.
Really?
Hold on a second. I'm high, but that definitely just fucking happened.
It does it
Just
all
like
the
that
time. They
Office
change
episode.
his
Hold
colors.
on.
It freaked me out the first time I
Hold
saw
on a
it.
second.
Oh,
It was the fucking same color gradient as the painting it's in front of.
All right, so the green.
Wait for it. It's coming. It's going to cycle through.
Orange.
There it is.
Hey!
There it is. Look at it.
It's like
Oh,
that Office episode
okay.
where the thing kept going.
That's awesome.
I'll try to put it up higher there. But
Remember the Office episode with the TV?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the DVD.
Yeah, DVD.
Dude, that's crazy. That fucking matched up chameleon style.
Oh, I guess if you're stoned, you can do anything.
I know. I didn't even realize that, but
Someone's got to screen grab that. Sherry, you screen grab it in like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go.
There it is.
good catch.
That
All right.
That should be the title of the podcast.
What?
Mike matches painting. I don't know. I'm just really tired. Haven't slept much this week. I don't know why. I just can't sleep. Let's see. Yeah, we're gonna thank our patrons. We thank all our patrons, but we're gonna thank four that reach a certain level, and that's Eckhart, Rickner, Gloffler, Maggie, the Magnificent, Joanne with a plan, and Ed, the creepy poopy letter carrier. Thanks for what you do, and thanks for everyone who listens to us. And that's all I got. Hasta luego.
Good.
It's my jersey from my Padre jersey.
Oh, all right. See y'all.
Goodbye. Next Thursday.